ever stumble upon a story that feels familiar, maybe even a bit predictable, only for it to just yank the rug right out from under you?
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Well, that's exactly what you've sent us this time. And trust me, the payoff looks like it's going to be worth it.
Absolutely. We're looking at a narrative that it kicks off with what seems like a really well-worn trope.
Right.
The underestimated underdog.
Right.
We've got a wife feeling uncomfortable socially, a son-in-law who comes across as completely, useless.
Signs of ineffectual.
And a company that's basically teetering on the brink of collapse.
But these first impressions, they're misleading, aren't they?
Deeply deceptive, as we'll definitely see.
Precisely. So your request was to really dig into these opening scenes to kind of understand the dynamics, the setup, and what clues does the author actually drop early on that hint at the extraordinary stuff that comes later?
Yeah, we need to unpack that initial setup. Who are the key players? What forces are at play?
We want to zero in on those moments that feel really unjust, and also those little breadcrumbs, the hints of hidden capabilities.
Okay.
So let's dive straight in. That opening scene, the humiliation in the restaurant. What struck you first about that?
Well, the immediate thing is the very deliberate contrast in social status. It's right there from the start.
Yeah.
Ananya's discomfort, her awareness that she doesn't quite fit in with the wealthy crowd. It sets up this feeling of vulnerability straight away.
Makes you wonder about the kind of societal pressures being shown here.
Exactly. And then Avinash tries to make it special, right? Mentions they'd saved up for her birthday.
Paints him as this, well-meaning guy, maybe a bit naive, just trying his best.
But then the wine spills.
Ah, the spill.
And that interaction with the rich man just completely shatters any idea of a simple, nice evening out.
That's the turning point, isn't it? Where the perceived power dynamics just explode.
Totally. The rich guy's reaction is so over the top. And mentioning the suit's price, 20 lakhs. It's such a blatant display of wealth, using it like a weapon to, demean them. Street idiot, beggar.
Terrible insults, demanding an apology to his wife, even.
What does that kind of, aggressive entitlement tell you about him? His own self-worth, maybe?
It just screams insecurity, doesn't it? He needs to tear other people down to feel big himself. And the threats?
Oh, the threats. Boasting about being the biggest diamond merchant, having ministers and guards in his pocket.
Threatening to wipe out your name, make their whole business vanish. It's classic bully stuff, using supposed influence.
But Abhinav, his reaction in the middle of all this yelling, it's so unexpected.
Right. He doesn't cower or freak out. He just calmly pulls out his phone.
Sends a message.
What did you make of that really calm response?
Well, it's the first real hint, isn't it? The first crack in that facade of him being, helpless.
Yeah.
Instead of arguing or apologizing like crazy, he takes this deliberate action.
Yeah.
It suggests, a hidden confidence.
Or knowledge that he has options, resources they can't see.
Exactly. Makes you immediately question what he might actually have at his disposal.
And the result is just, bam, instant.
So fast, the rich guy gets a phone call.
And his whole demeanor just flips, 180 degrees. The ground slipped under his feet, as the text says.
It's almost funny how sudden it is, except it's clearly got a huge impact.
And Ananya is just stunned. Her question, Papa, how did you do all this? After all, who are you? It perfectly captures that shift, right? For her and for us.
Absolutely. It forces you to think, how often do we misjudge people based on how they seem right at that moment?
All the time, probably. This scene is such a potent reminder. Appearances can be incredibly deceiving.
And then, boom, the narrative just switches gears completely, abruptly shifts to Avnav's domestic life.
Right, yeah.
And it presents this totally different image. What did you make of how Sharmila, his mother-in-law, treats him?
Oh, it's awful. The nickname Nithal.
Useless.
And just ordering him around, hey, Nithal, take it, son-in-law, press my feet, casually.
And the belittling remarks, like, you are living on the crumbs thrown by my daughter.
Ouch.
It establishes this completely different power dynamic. Here, Abhinav seems totally subservient, disrespected in his own home.
Why do you think the author put those two scenes, the restaurant power play and the domestic humiliation, so close together, back to back like that?
Well, the contract is crucial, I think. It builds the intrigue, right?
Okay.
We see this flash of potential power, this hidden capability in the restaurant. And it's immediately followed by a scene of him being treated like, a servant. It just deepens that central mystery. Who is this guy?
Is he capable and connected, or is he really as useless as his mother-in-law makes him out to be?
Exactly. And even when he tries to leave, saying he has to go somewhere.
Sharmila gets furious. Her controlling reaction really highlights how little autonomy he seems to have there.
It's only Ananya stepping in, supporting his right to leave, that actually allows him to go.
Which paints this picture of a man who's seemingly trapped, without much agency in that household.
It definitely raises questions about his marriage, too, doesn't it?
Mm.
It needs support. It's a small detail, but maybe significant.
Does she see something more in him than her mother does?
Maybe. Is there some kind of understanding between them that we just haven't seen yet?
The mystery keeps building, and it continues when Abhinav shows up at the five-star hotel, Sapphire.
Right. Mumbai's biggest five-star hotel. And look at him. Worn-out slippers, torn shirt, apparently no money.
He immediately stands out in this, super opulent place.
And the hotel guard's reaction. What did you notice there? Oh, it's just a stark example of, judging by appearances, social prejudice.
Mm-hmm.
The insults. Oh, poor man, don't have a penny. Buying water here will cost you your house. It shows how quickly people categorize and, frankly, dehumanize others who don't fit the mold.
Makes you think about gatekeepers in society, literal and metaphorical ones.
Definitely.
Yep.
And they just can't believe he wants to meet the owner, Akram.
Yeah, the arrogance there is almost funny. Our Akram Saab doesn't even get the bathroom cleaned by a man like you. It just highlights this seemingly huge gap between someone like Abhinav and the elite.
And then, just to make things more awkward,
his ex shows up?
Vaibhavi, yeah, with her new boyfriend Devendra, adds another whole layer of potential humiliation.
And Vaibhavi's attitude, that condescending pity.
So telling, isn't it? Treating him like a beggar. Don't drive these poor people away, suggesting they feed him leftovers. It really reveals her own skewed view of him. And maybe she wants to feel superior now.
Could be. And Devendra's little dig, the insult about Abhinav being her former boyfriend.
Yeah, just adds to the sense that everyone there is looking down on him.
It's just a piling on of indignities, isn't it? You think he can't sink any lower in this scene, socially speaking, and then, bam, another layer.
Exactly. But then the luxurious car pulls up,
signaling another big shift.
And you see the immediate change in the guard's behavior, right?
Oh, yeah. Instant deference. Underscores the absolute power Akram has.
The same guards who were so cruel just moments before are suddenly bowing and scraping. It really shows the hierarchy, how quickly people switch sides based on who they think has authority.
And Akram gets out. His first reaction to Abhinav, seeing this guy who looks like a beggar, totally predictable.
Tells his guards to throw him out.
Yeah.
Reinforces those snap judgments people make based on looks.
But then, the pivotal moment, Akram's eyes fall on the ring.
The ring on Abhinav's hand.
What do you think that ring signifies? It must be huge.
Oh, clearly. It holds immense symbolic power. It triggers instant recognition in Akram and this profound shift.
It suggests a history, right? A connection. Yeah. Or maybe it's like a badge of status that was hidden.
Something like that. Because Akram's reaction is extreme. He stops the guards, falls at Abhinav's feet.
Calls him Tiger.
And begs for forgiveness. I did not recognize you. Forgive me, Tiger. It's utterly shocking. It just flips everything we thought we knew about Abhinav.
Totally upends it. What questions did that moment immediately spark for you?
Oh, so many. Why Tiger? What on earth is the relationship between this guy who looks like nothing and a millionaire hotel owner that makes the millionaire fall at his feet?
Yeah. And what's the secret of the ring? It's this massive cliffhanger, makes you desperate to know more.
But the story doesn't let you linger there, does it?
Nope. Swiftly moves again. This time to Ananya's professional life, the crisis at Singh Industries. Why the sudden shift again?
Well, I think it broadens the story's scope. It suggests Abhinav's personal mysteries tied into the fate of this whole company.
Right.
The chaos in Ananya's office, the stampede, because of the news about a lost tender, it immediately sets up high stakes.
And the fact that this tender was called the last hope for the company, it really underlines how serious things are.
Yeah. Singh Industries shares are falling drastically. We meet Chirag, Ananya's friend and partner, and Mautik, the CFO.
And they're both really worried. Talking bankruptcy. His situation doesn't look good.
It seems like Ananya's grandfather built this company, worked hard, made it global.
And now it could all just collapse. What does that contrast suggest between the past success and this current crisis?
It adds a layer of kind of tragedy. Makes you wonder about mismanagement or maybe external challenges they couldn't handle.
And failed merger attempts are mentioned, too. Shows how vulnerable they are.
And then there's Ravikant Desai, this old loyalist advisor who seems to have been sidelined. Hints at possible internal conflicts, maybe. power struggles.
Meanwhile, back home, Sharmila is completely oblivious, still treating Abhinav badly.
And ironically criticizing him. You always keep doing household chores like a servant, sometimes watch news, telling him off for not following business news when her daughter's company is imploding.
The disconnect is almost funny, but it just highlights how narrow her world is.
And that specific tender detail, 200 crores lost to Ahuja Corporation, that feels important, like something to remember.
Definitely feels like a key piece of the puzzle.
Okay, so then Abhinav unexpectedly shows up, walks into the conference room where this whole crisis is unfolding.
And he's a not welcome, especially by Chirag.
No. What does Chirag's really hostile reaction tell us? This is a conference room, how dare you? Blaming Abhinav.
It suggests deep resentment, maybe? Or is Chirag scared of him for some reason? Does he have something to hide, maybe related to the company's problems?
Could be. Or he just genuinely sees Abhinav as this total outsider who has no place there.
But then Abhinav makes that surprising offer. Ananya, I can get you all out of this trouble. I have a way. Give me 5 minutes.
Another moment where he hints at this capability nobody else seems to see or believe.
And just as quickly, Chirag tries to throw him out again, gets security involved.
But Mrs. Luku steps in. She acknowledges his connection to Ananya, to the Singh family, tells security off.
That provides a little bit of hope for Abhinav, doesn't it? It suggests not everyone dismisses him completely. Some people recognize his connection, at least.
Yeah, and Ananya, she's quiet amidst all the chaos, but she's thinking, recalling her grandfather's words about Abhinav.
Right. That he'd be a good life partner, someone who would help in times of trouble. What do you think made her remember that just then?
Maybe desperation. A flicker of hope when everything looks bleak. Her grandfather's words might be this piece of wisdom she'd previously ignored or forgotten.
And Abhinav grabs that tiny opening, starts taking action, asks Mrs. Luku for crucial company info, investor details, shareholder lists, the balance sheet.
He's approaching it strategically now, not just making vague offers.
Mrs. Luku seems skeptical, which is understandable given how he looks.
But she points him towards Ravikant Desai, guides him, suggesting Ravikant might be an ally, someone open to unconventional ideas. Says he was close to the grandfather.
Okay, and this is where we get the first solid proof of Abhinav's hidden network.
The phone call.
That call with a minister who talks to him with such respect. Hey, Abhinavji, you called us. Our luck has opened up.
Wow. That just shatters the powerless son-in-law image completely, doesn't it? Yeah. What kind of influence does this guy have?
Seriously. To command that kind of deference from a government minister, it implies serious power or maybe some major past connection.
And he asks the minister to find out foreign details. Hints at a bigger plan, a wider network than just local stuff.
Then he talks to Ravikant Desai, asks about a merger with a K Private Limited, a former associate.
And Ravikant is shocked that Abhinav even knows about this. Suggests Abhinav has access to some pretty sensitive information.
And whatever Abhinav tells Ravikant next, it clearly blows Ravikant away.
Because Ravikant immediately takes Abhinav straight back to the conference room. It's this powerful turning point, all orchestrated off stage.
Builds the anticipation, right, for his return. Chirag is still dismissive, obviously.
But then Ananya steps up, asserts her authority. Chirag, don't forget, this company's mine, and I always had the veto power. Abhinav, sit and show me.
That's a huge moment for Ananya, too, taking charge.
And Ravikant backs her up, supports Abhinav.
Yeah.
It validates her decision.
So Abhinav immediately asks for the data again, investors, shareholders, balance sheet.
Chirag resists at first, but Ananya insists. She clears the path for Abhinav to finally act.
And his initial look at the numbers. He spots irregularities, a pattern of investors leaving, doubtful transactions in the balance sheet.
That suggests the company's problems might be deeper than just one lost tender, doesn't it? Raises the possibility of, like, internal sabotage or serious mismanagement.
Exactly. Chirag is still skeptical, demanding actual solutions, not just observations.
And then, the next bombshell.
Abhinav gets on the phone again, this time to Mr. Akram.
Confirms the connection. The hotel owner.
And the instructions he gives Akram are just audacious.
Unbelievable. Transfer 500 crores.
500 crores. From AK Private Limited's account to Singh Industries.
Publicly announced the merger of AK Private Limited and Singh Industries.
And quickly buy up all the shares of Ahuja Corporations, the company that won the tender.
The scale and the speed of it all.
Yeah.
It's just breathtaking. What was your reaction hearing that flurry of commands?
It's a complete mic drop moment, isn't it?
Totally. It reveals the sheer extent of Abhinav's hidden resources, his connections. That 500 crore transfer alone is staggering.
And the strategy. merging with AK Private Limited, taking over Ahujjakor. It shows this incredibly sophisticated grasp of business and finance.
Which completely contradicts everything we were led to believe about the useless son-in-law.
Ravikant approves, but Ananya is just floored, utter shock, disbelief.
Her reaction mirrors ours, probably. And her question,
Yep.
again, echoing from the restaurant, who are you, Abhinav? That's the absolute core question driving this whole thing.
So we're left, the learner, with this huge pile of mysteries, right?
A mountain of them.
How did this seemingly powerless guy humiliate that arrogant rich man back in the restaurant?
What is the secret behind that ring and his connection to Akram, the millionaire hotel owner, White Tiger?
Yeah, and how did Abhinav, who looked like he didn't have 2 pennies to rub together, command a 500 crore transfer and orchestrate a massive corporate takeover like that?
And is there something fishy going on with Shirag and Matik? Could they be involved in Singh Industries' downfall? Those irregularities Abhinav mentioned?
And what about those foreign details he asked the minister to dig up? What are they connected to?
This story just does a masterful job of highlighting how dangerous it is to make assumptions, doesn't it? Based on how people look or their social standing.
Yeah, it really suggests that true power, real capability, can often be hidden right under the surface, unseen by people who are too quick to judge.
It definitely leaves you thinking. How often do we completely misread the people around us? Totally unaware of their hidden depths, their hidden connections. There's always more beneath the surface.